Hello, 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 hello. Thank you so much for watching. This is Warren Redlick. I want to talk about Figure. So, Figure, if you're not familiar with it, let me see if I can find the character. What happened to that? I don't know. I'll just start here. There's this news story that just hit in the last couple days that Jeff Bezos, Nvidia, uh, multiple other companies, OpenAI is involved, Amazon's involved, Microsoft is involved. All these companies are investing a total of, I think it's $675 million, creating a $2 billion valuation for a Figure. Figure is making a humanoid robot. I don't know if I still have the picture of it. I think I put it in the trash or something. Um, I don't know what I did with that. Um, they have this humanoid robot that, do I have it? I don't think I have it. Oh, I'll put up my thumbnail. Um, that's the that's the bot on the left. This is the thumbnail for this video. So you can see you've got Optimus here and Figure over here. And Figure looks a lot like a previous generation of Optimus to me. So I feel like there's this tendency for AI companies, for startup companies to say, hey, we're making something just like Tesla and it's going to be great. And please invest in us. No, I do not own any Rivian stock, and I do not own a Rivian. Where's all this money invested? And I saw this, and I saw Figure.ai, something like that. And I was like, who are these guys? Because I saw them before this big investment. I was taking a look at them, and there was something that bothered me when I looked at them. So I want to show you what I saw. So um, this is the if you go to their website, there's an about and there's a team. So over here is Brett Adcock, Dana Berlin, Jerry Pratt, Lee Ramdaccio, and Logan Berkowitz. So number one, none of these people are engineers. If you're a Tesla fan, if you are an Elon Musk fan, or you're a SpaceX fan, you like companies that are run by engineers, that are led by engineers. None of these people is really an engineer. Jerry Pratt is the chief technology officer. He's the closest thing to an engineer in this group. None of them are engineers. And there's something really special about Lee, Dana, Brett, and Logan. I want to show you this. Okay, we're going to start with Brett. Brett is the founder and CEO of Figure and longtime technology entrepreneur. Longtime technology entrepreneur. He's been building companies for 20 years. Prior to Figure, this is where it starts to get interesting. Brett founded Archer Aviation. Brett built Archer into a globally leading electric aerospace company. He raised over $1 billion in capital, took Archer public on the New York Stock Exchange at a valuation of $2.7 billion. Remember that. $2.7 billion. I'm going to show you this right now. Well, it's currently worth 1.45 billion. This is the company's stock over the last 4 or 5 years. December 18th, 2020. So the last 4 years or so, maybe 3 years, 4 years. The company is now worth 1.45 billion. Well, this is the thing. Elon founded Tesla and Elon founded SpaceX, and he's still at both companies. He founded them in, like, I don't know, 2004 or something like that. I think the exact year, if it's 2004 or 2008. And here's this guy, founded Archer Aviation, and okay, he left. And now here's an interesting little detail. Here's Dana. Dana spent most of her career in investment banking. Oh, sounds like an engineer to me. Through investment banking, she met Brett. She pursued him to win Archer's $2.7 billion SPAC IPO transaction. Oh, it was a SPAC. Oh, that's wonderful. After announcing the deal, Brett asked Dana to come over to Archer Aviation as chief of staff. Wait, so she worked for Archer too. And look, here's Lee Ramdaccio. Remember, this is the team over here, right? We've got this team. Here's Lee. We just did Dana. We got Lee. What's the story with Lee? Prior to Figure, Lee was director of talent and performance at Archer. Who's running Archer again? Like the CEO left. Wait. What about Logan? Logan was director of business operations at Archer Aviation. What the hell happened? You started up a company. You got to a $2.7 billion market cap, or a $2.7 billion IPO. And then, what? This is the future of Figure. Right here. What? By the way, what do they do? They make they're making electric vertical takeoff and landing airplanes. That's the pitch. So they have not delivered a product to a customer yet. They've got a demonstration product maker over, the far side there. They got non-conforming Midnight, which was not piloted. Now they have this new one that is piloted. They have some contracts. They have six or so. I don't know what 6+ means. But this is a company, like, apparently Wall Street thinks this company is not banging, right? This company is not killing it, right? You raised $1 billion and you're only worth 1.45 billion. And apparently there's some other money that went in here because you had a valuation up. I don't remember what the peak was, but it was worth, I think he said 2.7 billion at the SPAC IPO. And now look at them. That people are criticizing Tesla for their performance. Tesla performed a lot better over this period of time, right? And so we got that. The company is net loss September 30, 2022, net loss 180 million in June 30, 2023, net loss here. They've dropped from $600 million in cash down to $461 million cash. Oddly, the cash went down and then back up again. That's because they're monkeying with their numbers. Again, this is Archer Aviation. This isn't Figure. Figure is not publicly traded yet, so we don't have publicly traded numbers. But, here's their cash, and you can see net increase in cash, $396 million. Where did that come from? Proceeds from pipe financing, this is probably hard for you guys to see. Proceeds from pipe financing, $145 million. Proceeds from maturities of short-term investments, $465 million. And their cash pile is, how is this company going to survive, right? And the leadership team left. This is what you got. So in August, the reason that their cash pile went up is they accelerated $70 million of investment from Stellantis under a strategic funding agreement. They oversubscribed PIPE, closed at $215 million. So they're raising money and will bring Archer's total liquidity to over $675 million. Total liquidity is the kind of phrase that Lucid Motors and Rivian use, right? Companies that are on the edge of going into bankruptcy start talking about total liquidity instead of cash because they're running low on cash and they've got to tell stories. So that's what I'm seeing here with, and I wanted to cover Jerry. I meant to mention this before. Jerry, the chief technology officer, appears to be dressed as an officer from Star Trek. Doesn't this look like a Star Trek uniform almost? I mean, he doesn't have the little badge thing, but he could be a Star Trek fan. And we'll cover who he is just really quickly. Chief technology officer Figure, works with the engineering teams. That doesn't sound like he is an engineer. That sounds like he works with engineers. He's dedicated his life's work to robotics. Principal investigator at the Institute for Human and Machine Cognition. Never heard of it. Built a robotics team concentrated around the walking and modeling and walking and balance. Team lead, DARPA Robotics Challenge. And look, he's got a degree in engineering. I'll give him that. He's fascinated by humanoid rights. Okay, that's great. So let's talk about the underlying problem, though, and I'm going to put this back up. The underlying problem between Figure over here and Optimus over here. All right, you raised $675 million. This is, by the way, I want to mention this really quick. What is the CEO good at? Right? He's a technology entrepreneur. He's been building companies for 20 years. Founded Archer Aviation. He's really good at raising money, right? He's kind of like the Peter Rawlinson of humanoid robots. Peter Rawlinson got like a $300 million pay package from Lucid for closing the IPO, closing the SPAC. He just got a $6 million cash bonus for presenting a prototype. I mean, and they have a whole thing with the leadership team, and there's like 50 people in suits or 50 faces on their About website. Well, how much does all that cost? How are you keeping costs in line when you have all these people that you're spending money on? How are you going to manage this thing to go? So let me just hit the critical point here. Okay, the critical point is that Optimus is being built by a company that is very good at manufacturing, right? They're very good at manufacturing machinery. Large machinery with lots of moving parts. Figure is headed up by a bunch of people who are good at talking shit and raising money for a company that then fails to deliver on its promises, right? But this is really important that, the reason why Tesla is the leader in humanoid robotics is, number one, they know how to manufacture. When Tesla gets to the point of making this thing, they're going to make it efficiently. They're going to have low capex. They're going to be efficient in their capex for making these robots. They attract great engineers. We don't know about the engineering teams at Figure. We know that on their website they got 47 people, and several of them are either people from Archer Aviation who aren't engineers, or some guy who was a technician who was like a service tech at Tesla, or did wiring on some project. So this is just, I see this. I see, there's these companies that come along that are startups and like, well, we're doing something like Tesla, and we put AI in our name, right? We're a robotics company. Let's quickly put AI in our name. Where's the AI? Right? What does Tesla have for AI versus what Figure has for AI? Tesla has 5 million cars on the road collecting data in the real world. They have 25,000 NVIDIA GPUs, if we're calling them GPUs still. Plus, they have Dojo. They have a team of engineers who've been working on developing real world AI for, I don't know, several years, 10 years maybe. Well, you can't invest in, just the way, by the way, that you can't invest in Figure yet. Figure is a privately held company. I think it'd be very hard to invest in them right now, but they're getting buzz. The idea that Jeff Bezos and Microsoft and OpenAI would invest in a company that appears to be competing with Tesla, gee, I wonder why. Maybe they consider Tesla a threat and they're trying to do whatever they can to destabilize Tesla. It's not going to work, but hey, let's throw a curveball. But how are they going to generate real world AI? And I have an ongoing, I guess I'm going to call it a disagreement or a discussion with like Scott Walter and other influencers talking about Optimus. Like Scott and a lot of other people think Optimus is going to be a factory robot first, and that's how they're pitching Figure also. I don't think that's the game for humanoid robotics. I don't think that's the game for Optimus. The game is to develop real world AI. So instead of training it to do a task, you tell it to do something and it figures out how to do it because it just understands the real world. That's going to be a big deal. Yeah, I mean, like Raymond says, the Lucid vibe. That's the whole point. When you look at Lucid's PDFs, dating back the beginning with the SPAC merger and everything, it was like, how many people in suits do you have in this brochure? And you got this SPAC document or whatever, these documents for announcing your investment. How many people in suits have you hired? Like, how many of these people actually are building cars? How many people are actually like good engineers who know what they're doing versus, your vice president of Latin American marketing when you have no future prospects of selling vehicles in Latin America? Yes, Jim Whitehead. Jim Whitehead is a moderator in the chat. Jim says, and thank you, Jim, for all your help over time. They might have something new, but I'm not seeing it. It looks like they could be a Me Too copycat of Optimus, so it might be an okay copycat product. So the problem is, if it is an okay copycat product, they won't be able to manufacture it at the same low cost, and they won't be able to develop AI at the same level. The $675 million raised isn't close to enough. That's nowhere near enough money to be able to develop the AI you're going to need to develop a general purpose humanoid robot. So if you can train it to do it, like they announced some contract with BMW. They announce these contracts. The same thing with Archer Aviation. They announced this big contract with United Airlines, and then they never deliver a product, right? It never happened, right? They get a big puff in the news, they get a bump in the stock, and then they never actually deliver anything. So, all right, you announce some sort of contract with BMW. We'll see if you actually ever deliver something to BMW. Gets a puff in the news. Oh, look, they're working with the robotics company. The robotics pump company gets a puff in the news. Oh, we're working with BMW. And then nothing ever happens. But I don't see where these guys have the horsepower. They don't have the manpower, right? They don't have the manufacturing. Like, are they going to be able to make something like this and manufacture it at scale? What part of the team has that level of experience and the resources that Tesla has available to say, hey, we've got this monster factory, we're just going to build it over here, and we got these teams that build servos and all these features that are going to go in the bot. We have the chipset. We have the chipset already. We just took it out of the car and stuck it in the bot. Right? It's really straightforward. Franklin says with $675 million, they can hire some people away from the Optimus project. No, they can't. They're not going to hire people away from the Optimus project. And it's not about people. That's the thing. It's not about people. It's so many things together. You can't hire the whole team. I think Tesla's team is like over 200 people. You've got like 47 people, and half of them are like bullshit, jobs. Director of human operations or some bullshit. It's going to be a game of months. He who gets first gets an AGI capable will win the market. That assumes there's one AGI. There may be, first of all, as far as I'm concerned, ChatGPT might already be AGI. I have lots of lengthy conversations with ChatGPT all the time. As far as I'm concerned, ChatGPT is a form of AGI, but it is not a form of real world AGI, right? It is not, you can't put it in a robot and have it walk the robot around and understand the real world. It understands language. I think there's going to be more than one type of AGI. Figure has to get the prototype working, give it AGI. Give it AGI. Give it what AGI? What is AGI? That's just like a mumbo jumbo term. They have to train it to understand the real world. That's how AI works. That's how machine learning works. You expose it to a lot of data. You take that data, you learn from the data, you feed it into a training computer, and you train the inference computer to do better next time. Lil Denial says, Tesla's on the right path and a good investment when other random companies start copying what Tesla is trying to do. Exactly. EVs, storage, human. Exactly. Thank you, Lil Denial. Am I saying that right? Lil Denial? Tenzing says, Figure AI has a big red flag, and that is the CEO himself. Not calling him a Trevor, but look at his history. Exactly. He's in whatever is hot and has no meaningful track record. Well, he has a meaningful track record. This is his meaningful track record right here. This is the meaningful track record. He started up this company, got it to a $2.7 billion valuation, and is currently trading at $1.45 billion, and they haven't delivered a product. They went public in December of 2020. Over 3 years ago. They presumably had existed for several years before that, and they still don't have a product delivered to a customer. When are they going to deliver? And look, I'm not a big fan of Wall Street, but the investors do not think this company is viable, right? And you can look at the numbers. I don't think they're in a cash burn situation, just like Lucid and Rivian. Just looking at the chat here. 100 million a year by 2035. 100 million robots a year by 2035. I agree. 100 million Optimus. 472 Water says, NVIDIA CEO is new media king, not Musk. Thoughts, Warren? I think Jensen Huang is great. I think Elon thinks Jensen Huang is great. I think Jensen Huang thinks Elon's great. Jensen Huang is the CEO of NVIDIA. NVIDIA is doing great things. I think a really interesting thing to watch for is Tiny Computer, is George Hotz's company. I think there may be something really interesting happening there. And I think Dojo is, there's a lot happening, but I think it doesn't, like, people say the competition is coming for NVIDIA soon enough. And the reality is the market may be so big, it doesn't matter. Yes, Mark Potocnik, Tesla and SpaceX, #1 in getting engineers. Good morning, Mark Plott. Good to see you here. DeWiz says, for factory floor, wheels are more than adequate. Bipedal ability implies general purpose. Interesting. I don't know. I think there are situations in a factory where you might need to go upstairs, and bipedal and a wheeled robot might not solve the problem. I think that the future factory for Tesla is purpose-built robots that are designed for an entirely new manufacturing system, and Tesla Optimus is not going to be part of that. Not in a big way. Just me, very cute. Sanjay says, hiring away a few Optimus people isn't going to beat Tesla or create success. Exactly. I think Peter Rawlinson was, I guess, hired away from Tesla. Look at the success there. Entire leadership and culture flows down. This ain't 1 to 2 star engineers. Exactly. Spin the right buzzwords and get money like Lucid and Nikola. Exactly, Mark Potocnik. Thank you. Figure does not figure. Nikola made the nicest looking trucks you can roll down a hill. I love it. I hope, well, Optimus is walking. I think Optimus, it's a long way to go with Optimus, but, to me, the really big deal is not training it to do a task, which is what Figure is basically being pitched at as. And then CERN Basher and Scott Walter have a graph out on X somewhere where I don't think I have it handy, where they talk about all the different features of all the different bot startups. There's Chinese bot startups as well that are more likely. Yes, and it says there will be more real AI bot competition from China. Well, there will be more bot competition. Generating the machine learning is we're going to require manufacturing a large number of bots and exposing them to diverse data sets, diverse environments. You just put them on a factory floor, they're not going to learn real world AI. You got to get them out there in a variety of the real world. And yes, Mark Plot, fake it till you make it. That fake it until you cash out enough of your money from this company that you have never had a chance of succeeding, and then the company, let somebody. I mean, it's just so shocking to me that the leadership team. If you're new to this video, four of the five people on this leadership team were on the leadership team of Archer Aviation, and they left to form Figure. Jerry Pratt, the Star Trek guy, is not one of the four, but the other four people were on the leadership team of Archer Aviation, and they left. They left. Does that sound like the leadership team you want for your company? A team that gets in there, gets through the IPO, and then ditches to start up another IPO? Good morning, Brian. I do think many underestimate OpenAI and DeepMind. I don't underestimate OpenAI. I think ChatGPT and Dolly are spectacular products. I just saw a friend of mine on X just sent me some images generated by Google Gemini. Google Gemini is catching a lot of heat, but their image generation and their image analysis and their ability to detect fakes is really, really good. So that they're, there's a lot of fluff going on. There's a lot of heat coming for Google Gemini, but Google may have something really special in that one too. Yes, Rawlinson leaving Tesla was a great favor. For didn't feel like it at the moment for Elon, I'm sure. With that gigantic cash pile, Figure 8 could have years of losses and still survive a long time. No, Jim, they don't have that much cash. I think they have $675 million. How don't you think they're going to burn it? They're going to take that cash. They're going to hire a lot more. This is their history. They're going to hire a bunch of people. They're going to spend a lot of money. They're probably going to buy, NVIDIA's investment is probably going to be NVIDIA chips. So that's going to go into chips. It's not going to be in a cash pile. They're going to burn a lot of cash. It's 675 million is not that much if you want to build an AI humanoid robot. That's a big project. Mark Plot says Figure can't scale. I don't think they can scale. I don't think they have the manufacturing chops. How are they going to manufacture these robots? I don't see it. Are they going to outsource the manufacturing of robots and then you lose the connection between the engineers in your company and whoever's building your machinery? That doesn't make sense. Yes, serial entrepreneurs can be a good thing. PYG Helby. Steve Jobs and Elon Musk are serial entrepreneurs. But they're serial entrepreneurs who get a company that actually grows and succeeds and delivers products to customers. And then there's serial entrepreneurs who get a startup going, raise the capital, and then ditch to start up another company without finishing the job. Hopper says, do you fully understand what Sora stands for? No, I do not. I never thought about what Sora stands for. I do think we're going to see some pretty amazing video generation by AI coming. Oh, by the way, I have made the decision that I am mostly going to do live streams from now on. If you've been following my channel for a while, I used to do a lot of edited videos, and I've decided to do mostly live streams. And my theory on that is within probably 2 years, most edited content that appears on YouTube and any video platform will be AI generated, AI written, and I won't be able to compete with that. So and I could, just so you know, that there's talk among YouTubers, I could get an AI to write a script. I could get an AI to mimic my voice, and I could just put some video over it or get an AI to generate video, like B-roll to roll over the video. And you probably wouldn't know it was me, and you might actually think it's better than the real me. I think it was Farzad that did an experiment, and he found that people watched the video longer when he did that. So that's not what I want to do. That's not why I do this. So I figure live streaming is something that's going to be harder for the AI to mimic. So I think the live stream is the way I'm not saying I'm going to, I don't make that much money as a YouTuber anymore anyway, but I just think that's the future of what I'm doing, of human contribution in the short term. In the long term, the AI will figure out live streaming too. Brian says NVIDIA's chat with GTX product is pretty good. You can chat with your own set of data. That's like an inside baseball thing for people who have the kind of companies where that makes it work. Oh, Raymond says the CEO of Figure talks like a 13-year-old Valley girl trying to imitate Elon. Now I got to go. I've never seen the guy talk. I got to go see that. Yeah, editing takes time. Making a video that's not a live stream takes, like when I do a video like this, it's like an hour of prep and then an hour live stream. And then I download the video from YouTube. Actually makes I get the download from YouTube within, I don't know, 10 minutes, and then I upload it to X. And sometimes I'll edit sometimes you guys have probably noticed my live streams start goofy and I edit at the beginning of the live stream before I post it somewhere else. Steve Jobs changed computing and electronics. Yep. Figure plus the resources of a dozen other tech companies equals what Tesla has already accomplished in the robotic space. No, none of the companies that are involved with that have invested in Figure have manufacturing experience. I mean, Nvidia manufactures chips, although they sort of really TSMC probably manufactures their chips, but nobody manufactures large machines. Nobody. Nobody involved. I mean, what does Amazon make? The Kindle? Do they make it themselves? I don't know. So Nvidia is going to put money into this, get all their money out through selling their chips to Figure, and have a free option and a low likelihood of success. Yeah, well, yeah, they. I think that's probably true, Sanjay. I think that Nvidia's investment will probably come in the form of, here, buy our chips, and Microsoft's investment will probably be here, use Microsoft on all your computers and pay us for that. Um, Chris L says Farzad says he's doing the fake AI, and if you don't like it, goodbye. Well, like 95% of his audience will probably like it better than what he did before. Farzad, I love Farzad, and if it works for him, great. That's not what I'm not motivated by that. I'm not motivated by, oh, let me get more views, let me get more engagement, let me get more likes, let me make more money on YouTube. I have enough money. I just like talking to you guys, right? I do like putting together videos, and I could have put this Figure versus Optimus video together as a edited video, but I really feel like it's better this way. And in 6 months, in 2 years, if I made this as an edited video, an AI version of the video would be better. Hopper says many think Sora thinks it's just a video creator, but what they don't realize is it's generating video based on physics. It is a huge deal. I fear for FSD and bots. Oh no, you don't understand. Tesla's been generating video like that a lot longer. They demonstrated it on, was it Autonomy Day or AI Day? I think it was AI Day. They demonstrated that they're generating video like that based on physics. They're way ahead of OpenAI on that. Was that OpenAI? Or was that I forget who? I think Sora is OpenAI. I forget who's behind Sora, but Tesla's been doing that longer and better. Steve Jobs was a successful serial entrepreneur because Bill Gates bailed him out. Well, Steve Jobs had more than one success. It wasn't just Apple. Kid Kick, I'm getting ads watching this live stream. Is that new? It is a feature when I set up the live stream and I have a choice of aggressive advertising or conservative advertising. The aggressive advertising shows you more ads. The conservative advertising shows you less. So I chose the conservative one because I just don't make that much money at this anyway. But I think Dave Lee said that if you include the advertising on your videos, then YouTube will show it to more people. So I think it's reasonably new, Kid Kick. I think it's new within the last year. I don't think it's new like in the last week or the last month. I think it's about a year old that it started inserting ads into live streams. And I have a feeling if you're a YouTube Prime member, then you don't get ads. Amazon makes a fart candle. It's a lot easier for Farzad, and I guess people like it, not me. I think he said, he looked at the audience retention numbers and more people stayed with the video because the AI did his voice better than he does. You can't make it up. The AI does the script better than he does. Like, why? I don't really script my videos. I just talk. Mark Plot, Warren, I'm here for the honest content. Well, that's the point. It's me. Like an AI would not generate this background, right? An AI would not generate, Warren with the Ritz crackers, right? This just this shirt that's not quite right. It's Be Less Wrong shirt, by the way, elonbits.com for the merch. Figure can buy Optimus hardware and focus on AI apps development. I do want to say I love these shirts. This is the Tri-Blend shirt. These shirts are great if you're going to go out and you're going to get sweaty. The other shirts are less good if you're going to get sweaty. But all the shirts are great. I love all the shirts. So please check out elonbits.com. And then there's the stainless steel water bottles as well, which I decided not to carry the load with me traveling the world and with a duffel bag. I gave my my stainless steel water bottles to friends that I met along the way. One friend in Japan, and I forget where I gave the other one to. I think it was somebody in Florida. Figure can buy Optimus hardware and focus on AI apps development. No, they're not. Tesla's not selling them Optimus hardware. They're building their own hardware, and they're not going to be able to manufacture it at scale. With YouTube Premium, I get no ads. Yeah, I have YouTube Premium also, by the way. Auto line showing the falling auto market. Yeah, let's talk about autos for a second. There's that. We're going to go off Figure. This is a live stream. We do whatever we want. There's been this story that's been told that, oh, Tesla's lowering prices and other companies aren't lowering their prices. And there's an account on X called Car Dealership Guy. Strongly recommend joining X. Please follow me on X, WR4NYGov. There's a link in the video description below here on YouTube. If you're on X already, you're already seeing it. But follow the Car Dealership Guy account. He's talking about how all the car dealers are lowering prices. And the ones who aren't are getting screwed. And the ones who are smart are lowering prices quicker and faster. And the overall internal combustion engine auto sales, peak auto was like 5 years ago. Internal combustion engine vehicle sales are falling globally. Anybody who's telling you, oh, everything's great with the rest of the car companies and it's only Tesla that's cutting prices, they're just not paying attention. They're hearing what they want to hear. They're seeing what they want to see. DeWiz says, love my Tesla Man shirt. Unfortunately, my t-shirt company took down the Tesla Man shirt, and I haven't figured out where I'm going to put the Tesla Man shirt back up again. I'm really unhappy about that. I love that shirt. Farzad has a rougher voice. English might not be his first language. I think English is his first language. So the AI sounds a bit better. Warren's AI might get more clicks if she looks like Dolly Parton. Maybe if I just had hair, maybe my AI Warren could have like really nice hair, could have like Brad Pitt hair. Would that work? And my AI Warren would always shave before a video. FSD might fail, but bots will fly. Yeah, that's true. VW gives up competing with Tesla. Yeah, a lot of the companies that the legacy auto companies have basically given up on EVs. I think didn't Ford Lightning, didn't they just decide to stop making them? And there's another post I saw on X where somebody was up in Canada, went to the Ford dealer. They had like 30 Ford Lightnings on the lot, F-150 Lightnings on the lot. And the price on the list price was like $107,000. And he went to the car finance manager and the guy's like, okay, 118. It's like, no, it says 107 and you have 30 vehicles on the lot. Why the hell would I pay you $10,000 more, $11,000 more? You should be giving me a discount. And they wouldn't sell the car to him. They wouldn't give him a reasonable price. It's like, you got 30 of these things on the lot. They're not moving. Mercedes gave up. Yes, Mercedes has given up on EVs. They seem to have given up on EVs. Volkswagen, I don't know if Volkswagen has given up. Didn't they just come out with a new vehicle in Europe? They're not really pushing in the US. They're all getting clobbered in China. Fact is, cars last 3 times as long in the 70s. If nothing else different implies 1/3 sales. Interesting point. Ford halts production of Lightning quality issue. Yep. Jim Manley says figure AI is going to create vertical takeoff and landing flying humanoid angels on the head of a pin robots. I love that, Jim. I'm gonna use that, Jim. I'm stealing that. Figure AI is going to partner with Archer Aviation to make vertical takeoff and landing humanoid robots. I love it. Chris L says sold Tesla tax loss harvest. Will buy some back a week from Monday. I hope they do solve FSD this week. Yeah, I did. The only time I think I sold Tesla not that long ago in order to move the money into a Roth IRA and buy the Tesla stock back. I did it pretty quickly. I don't think there was a big change in price during when I did that. Farzad is Iranian. I think Farzad is Iranian American, but my guess would be Farzad was born here. I don't know. I don't hear any accent in Farzad's voice, so I don't know if maybe I'm just too used to really bad accents. So if Farzad has an accent, I don't notice it. SMR just posted Ford has issued a stop sale on F-150 for a quality issue. It's a stop sale. Undisclosed defect. Yeah, I mean, legacy auto's in trouble. I think the really big thing that's coming, and I think Jim Farley at Ford knows it as well as anybody else in the auto industry. I think a lot of the auto industry's figured it out. If you listen to that Q4 earnings call, I think I might do a video about this. If you listen to that Q4 earnings call, when they were talking about the manufacturing, so I think it was Drew was talking about it was Drew or Lars, and they were talking about the manufacturing system for the next gen vehicle. This is big. This is not just unboxed process. There's a whole lot more going on here. They're re-engineering the machines. When you look at a factory floor, you see these standardized industrial robots that are trained to do they program that to do certain tasks. That's not what they're doing. They're completely redesigning the machines that build the machines. That the factory floor robots are going to be just different. They're going to be custom built robots specifically for Tesla, built by Tesla for Tesla. It's going to be a complete game changer. And again, this is I make fun of Barry Black, aka Gary Black, But a lot of people are talking about Tesla doing a $25,000 car. If you notice, the Tesla team stopped saying $25,000 car. The last thing anybody said about it was Drew Baglino saying half the footprint, factory's going to be half the square footage, half the cost, twice the volume. Half the cost. Well, half the cost of a Model 3 would be under $20,000. Especially in China, where I think they sell them for like $34,000, $35,000. It might be a $17,000 car in China. King Carl Bastio says Tesla stock is dead money until 2026. For those who have a $340 average, it is what it is. Okay, so we don't know what might trigger a rise in the stock. A fall in interest rates might trigger a rise in the stock. FSD crossing a threshold and Tesla saying we're getting rid of the nags. That could trigger a rise in the stock. Maybe they announce a van. Drew Baglino dropped a future vehicle programs in the earnings call too. Nobody picked up on that one. I'm the only one who noticed that. As far as I know, I don't think any other YouTuber made a video about future vehicle programs. We got a van coming. We got other future vehicles coming. I don't know what's coming, and we don't know when it's coming. But some stuff's happening. Summer Breeze says, I hope one day Optimus could massage my body. There's lots of massage parlors here in Bangkok. You might want to visit Bangkok. Go on DuckDuckGo and search for massage in Bangkok. You'll find a different result than what you find on Google. I'm not saying I Googled that. I searched for that today. Just for fun. Just for fun. The Wiz says, as far as I was born in Spain. Grew up here. I was born in Netherlands, grew up in Canada. I don't hear an accent for Farzad. I don't know. I mean, does he have an accent? Does he sound the same as me? No, I don't hear an accent. And he's just a nice guy. He's just a really nice guy in person, especially. I've met him in person. Yeah, Barry Glack is clueless. I agree with that. FSD isn't coming anytime soon. 472 Water. We don't know when FSD is coming. He's been saying that since 2014, and ChatGPT isn't intelligent. Saying they are similar is misleading. ChatGPT is amazing. I literally had extensive conversation with multiple extensive conversations with ChatGPT about big topics. I'm able to get good feedback. It's able to lead me to where I need to go to do more research on something I'm thinking about. It's a great sounding board. If I have a question and I ask like any of my best friends, and then I ask ChatGPT is a better sounding board than any human I know. Period. On almost any topic. Farley's a good CEO working for the stupid Ford family. What a place to be. Lucid and Nicholas should be delisted. 224 could be the big year. We just don't know. We don't know what's going to happen that's going to trigger a change. Could go up, could go down. We know it's going to be a fun ride. That's all I can say. Can Tesla get rid of nags without NHTSA approval first? I don't know. I think so. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, they might get rid of the nags and the NHTSA makes them put them back in. I see Jim Farley is doing the most he can in a backward company. He was the first designer for sutras. He looks like a genius next to Mary Barra. That's true. Chris L says, will it be a minivan or a larger UPS type delivery van first? I think it's going to be a van on the scale of Cybertruck in size. And then I think the next gen vehicle platform will have a Ford Transit Express style van. That's my best guess, but I'm only guessing. I mean, if you look at the Investor Day presentation, the slide deck, there's a vehicle that looks like a large van under a tarp. We don't know, but that's what it looked like to me. Jim Manley. I don't even see a Jim Manley here. Google cannot show Optimus image because it is mostly white. I love it. I wonder if Elon's VTOL design is Tesla's. Elon was asked about doing a VTOL at the Third Row Tesla podcast interview back a few years ago, and he said that Tesla was not going to do a VTOL, that they just don't have the engineering resources to do everything they want to do. I personally think that VTOL is actually a dead end because boring company tunnels and hyperloops and Starship will replace pretty much all aviation. I probably have a video about that somewhere. Back when I made edited videos that were not generated by AI. Franklin says normally market is an 18-month leading indicator for Tesla solving FSD and cranking the Gen 3. There won't be a chance to game it, so it'll rocket higher when both are solved public. I expect that it's what's hard to know is somebody going to get wind of it or start predicting it's going to rise and get ahead of the news? Is the news going to break and Wall Street's going to lag on understanding it, and then it'll take time to go up when the rest of us realize, hey, this is it? We don't know. Andy Onions, does ChatGPT like your podcar idea? I have lots of conversations with ChatGPT about the podcar idea. I think it was either today or yesterday, I had a really, really long conversation with ChatGPT about my current plans to find a particular location. There's a city in Thailand called Chumphon, Chumphon. I'll be checking it out in early March. There's a university there that has a team that built an EV in the Thai competition. I think I could hire a mechanical engineer from that team. I went through all my ideas, and it's a great sounding board. And it actually comes back with some pretty good criticism. So, yeah, the Ford Transit vans are very successful, and the market for that in a Tesla van, Tesla's going to be able to make a van at significantly lower cost and probably higher efficiency than Rivian's van. I mean, that's just a reasonable expectation. So will it be? I don't think it's going to be a stainless steel van, although I could be wrong about that. We'll see. Jim Whitehead says, I didn't realize that robots could be ethnic. You will have AGI when the black robots file discrimination claims against the white robots. Yeah, actually, Figure was I think Figure was whiter than Tesla bot, than Optimus. That could be a problem. They'll have to fix that. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, just to rehash this for everyone, Figure raised about $675 million at a valuation of $2 billion. That means they sold nearly half the company to these new investors, which means probably with the existing investors, my best guess is that the leadership team has a fairly small percentage of the company at this point, because I think they had 25 investors before. They had 3 lead investors before. Most likely, the leadership team has significantly less than 10% of this company. That's my guess. Because 675 million at a $2 billion valuation, if it was $1 billion, that would be 50% of the company they just sold. So they sold, what is that? That's like 33%, 34% of the company. Yeah. So I would pay for Starship International flight 30 minutes. Yeah, I think Starship International flights are coming. Has ChatGPT commented on my what? On my what? On my PL. What's my PL? I don't know what my PL is. I asked ChatGPT about my strength training. I asked ChatGPT about medical stuff. I just had just a really interesting detail. Okay. I had some blood work done. I'm just getting myself checked out. I do this fairly regularly. I'm at 57, turning 58 soon. And I want to know what my physical health is and is there anything I need to watch for? And I got like a very mild anemia and a high creatinine and a low EGFR, which is determined by the creatinine. And that suggests possibly impaired kidney function. But then I researched further, partly in thanks to ChatGPT and partly from watching YouTube videos. And I realized that because I've been doing a lot of strength training and because I'm heavier, the EGFR calculation and the creatinine number are very, very sensitive to your weight. And I'm like 210 pounds now. And I'm pretty muscular. Like if you look at, like, I've really bulked up. And I do talk to ChatGPT about my fitness routine. Do I have any fitness routine? I do upper body push, upper body pull, legs, and cardio. And I have specific exercises that I do a lot of. I do a lot of dump. It depends on what gym I'm at. So I'm in a condo that doesn't have like lat pull. I have this weird exercise I'm doing now. I posted a picture of me doing it. There's no lat pull down machine. There's no vertical pulls. So I like throw myself at a 60-degree angle on an inclined bench with my head down, and I pull dumbbells up from the floor. And I do a lot of cardio and I do a lot of walking and I do a lot of row, vertical row exercises and dumbbell bench press machine, a whole bunch of stuff like that. Hopper says, planning on living forever. No, I'm hoping to live healthy into my late 70s, early 80s, so that I'm in good shape for my next set of children. I'm hoping to have children again. I think I'm making good progress on that goal. Nobody's pregnant yet or anything, but I'm making good progress on that goal. Franklin says, if your A1C has ever been high, some pre-diabetes, my A1C is not high. So it is no, and that's a Franklin says keep low carb. No, I'm high protein, and high protein builds muscle mass, and high protein and muscle mass fool the blood tests to lead you to believe that you have impaired kidney function when you don't. And partly through my conversation with ChatGPT, I was able to figure out, okay, this isn't really a problem. No problem, DeWiz. I plan to repopulate the Earth. I have extensive discussions with ChatGPT about my goal of finding a woman to have children with and my plans of having children and so on and so forth. I'm not ripped, Mark. Because I'm heavy. I'm actually about to start losing a little bit of weight. I do not use AG1. I don't use any. I use protein supplements. Milk based. What are they? Whey protein based supplements, I believe. Sometimes they're casein based, but I dairy protein supplements. Plan to die in bed at the age of 100 plus, making love. Very nice. There are a couple papers that claim if you take a vitamin pill every day, it helps delay cognitive decline with age. I don't know. I think if you stay in good shape, that's the best thing you can do, and build strength. Build your VO2. I'm a big fan of Peter Attia, and I literally asked ChatGPT, what would Peter Attia say about this? I literally I love ChatGPT. Aside from working out, yeah. According to Demis Hassabis, who's the Google DeepMind guy, major medical advances based upon AI are expected within a couple of years. Excited for that. We'll see. Free Kekistan says, isn't high creatinine a lifting thing? It's actually a mass thing, but muscle mass does contribute. I did actually take a creatine supplement, probably stopped several months ago. That conceivably could have contributed, but yeah, high creatinine is it is common in bodybuilders, but it's just basically if you're heavier, whether it typically muscle mass drives it. Mark Plot says I eat 4 eggs a day for breakfast. After 11 a.m. I'm fasting all morning. Summer Breeze says don't consume red meat. I eat a lot of red meat. I do eat a fair amount of eggs, Mark, but I balance it. Sometimes it's eggs, sometimes it's cereal. You can see the Ritz crackers are kind of a cheat over there. So yeah, I think there's a myth about red meat that I think has been pretty much clobbered. I recommend following Peter Attia, ATTIA. Great video content. Get your cardio up. Get your VO2 max up. Push yourself. Do hard cardio once a week, and do what he would call zone 2. Getting decent cardio workout in every day or almost every day, and build your strength. So, and then get checked out by a physical therapist if you think you have any weaknesses. I have like a weakness in my left shoulder right now. I'm trying to working on making an appointment for that. Mark Plot says 1 meal per day, keto, low glycemic foods. I mean, different things work for different people. I did time restricted eating. I did some fasting. I've done a bunch of stuff. We'll see how it works. Andy Onion says ditch the supplements, eat real food. I eat real food and I eat supplements. If you want to build muscle mass, you want to eat a lot of protein. It's hard to eat enough protein without protein powders. You can do it. It's just hard. Did Ritz pay for that product placement? I should get paid for that. Wes Hicks says go with whey protein only. There's a theory that if you're going to use protein supplement at night, the casein protein is better at night. I just watched a video about that like yesterday. You do research, you can't eat anything more. No. If you do research and you focus on strength training research, there's a lot of good information out there. Vegetables are good. Fruits are pretty good. Meats are pretty good. You just want to eat a lot of protein and a decent amount of fats and carbs. And if you're trying to lose weight, you want to Eat less calories, and then cardio won't help you lose weight because you'll probably make it up in other ways. You'll either body will rest more when you don't realize you're resting, and you might eat more. Cardio, not you should do cardio. Just don't expect it to lead you to lose weight. Franklin says zone 2 is like 120 heart rate that burns most fat. No, it's not about burning fat. And zone 2, it depends on your age. So 120 is probably my zone 2. But that if you're younger, it might be 130 or 140. I'm not saying Ritz crackers and cereal are real food. I think the cereals I eat are real food. But yeah, Ritz crackers not real food. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. But I had it with cheese. The difference between us and monkeys is we decided to swing down from trees and kill something. I would love to live longer and be healthy. I'm 23 now. Summer Breeze. Watch Peter Attia, ATTIA. Watch some of his videos. Do cardio, do strength training. If you do hard cardio once a week, really aggressive cardio once a week. Watch Peter Attia to understand how. I can't remember the last time I ate vegetables or fruits. It was nice meeting you. I'm not saying you have to eat vegetables, fruits. I eat vegetables and fruits. Most protein powders not good. Too much soy. No, I eat whey protein. I eat wrong and enjoy it. You are wrong. You need to eliminate tasks away from people to create value. You can't drop in the real world and eliminate tasks. That will not create value. I'm trying to understand what Kevin Melvin wrote here. Let's get back to Optimus and Figure. You are wrong. You need to eliminate tasks away from people to create value. You can't drop a bot into the real world and eliminate tasks. That will not create value. So the key there is, and by the way, Summer Breeze, when I say Peter Attia, my own primary care doctor, I was talking to him, and it turned out we both watched Peter Attia. A lot of doctors are watching Peter Attia. There's a lot of people. He doesn't have the answer to everything, but a lot of times when he doesn't have the answer, it's because there is no answer or there's no good answer. He's worth watching. There's a lot of content. Watch his interview with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan interviewed him. Watch an interview of him. But when he talks about VO2 max, that's one of the big ones. Figure claim, he has a book too. Outlive, I think his book is Outlive. I haven't read the book. Figure claim chat GPT. Oh, so let me go with Melvin here. Kevin Melvin, you are wrong. You need to eliminate tasks away from people to create value. You can't drop a bot in the real world and eliminate tasks that will not create value. If you can get a bot to understand the real world, and then you can tell a bot, go do that, and the bot figures it out on its own because it understands the real world, then the bot can effectively learn to do tasks on its own. It will try to do the task. If it doesn't work well, it will upload the data to the cloud, and the cloud will run it through the training supercomputer, and the next day, all the bots, maybe not the next day, maybe the next week or two, all the bots will be trained to do that thing better. They'll all understand the real world better and be able to figure that out better. It's not just about doing tasks. It's about understanding the real world. Grant Guy says, Figure claimed ChatGPT by pushing a button on coffee machine is as ridiculous as Trevor downhill truck. Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see Figure's demo. I don't really pay attention to the demos. For me, it's just like, can you manufacture these things at scale, and can you get AI working on this? And the fact that you can get it to do a parlor trick doesn't mean anything. Jim Manley, whey protein is why you're getting heavier. You're probably right. I'm not really getting heavier. I'm about the same. DeWiz says I'm 79. I typically cycle 10,000 kilometers a year. Very good. I do a lot of walking, and I do a lot of exercise bike. Figure is copying Tesla wrong. Yep. Franklin Margolis says, if bots would increase world GPT from 100 trillion to 400 trillion in a few years span, what is the value of money or property? Does it stay the same, go to a quarter of current value, or 4x? That is a bigger question than I'm prepared to answer. I don't think that bots will increase world GDP 4x in a few years span. I think it's going to take a lot of time to manufacture a sufficient number of bots to make that kind of dent. Elon does say if you create enough bots and they do enough work, then you end up with labor not being significant, and the whole definition of economics kind of goes away because you no longer have scarcity of labor. I don't agree with Elon on that, but I think he might be right. If you copy all your what? I'm sorry, copy all your stuff is out of date. Yeah, yeah. If you're well, this is the problem with the auto industry, right? They're trying to make, something as good as the 2012 Tesla Model S, right? Or the 2015 Tesla Model S, or the 2017, 2018 Tesla Model 3. They're not working on what's Tesla going to make, next year and how do we make something better than that. They're working on how do we make something almost as good as what Tesla made 6 years ago. That's their problem. Thank you, Mark Plot. Um, all right. So we've been going for an hour. Um, just to summarize again, I don't think that Figure makes a lot of sense. I don't see how they're going to manufacture at scale. I don't see how they're going to develop real world AI. I don't think $675 million is nearly enough to fund the things that they need to do to make a humanoid robot succeed. That's it. Jim Manley says bots need to do dirty, dangerous, and disgusting tasks that humans shouldn't do. It's a mistake to talk about bots replacing people as it foments unnecessary fear and Luddite interference. Well, I think a really good example is roofing. My favorite example. If you can get bots, whether it's humanoid robots or some other type of robot, to do solar on the roofs and other things like that, then you save human lives and you increase productivity. It doesn't mean that you reduce the number of workers. You might end up saying, you know what? We used to have 10 guys on the roofs and we did this many roofs, but now we only need 5 guys on the roof and we can do 3 times as many roofs. We had 3 roofs at a time, so you end up having 15 people because you're able to do the roofs at so much lower cost. I think there's a lot of different angles to this, and it may end up being that, installing solar on roofs with bots creates jobs because there's so much need to install solar everywhere. It's the biggest hurdle is the installation cost. Permitting probably, but installation cost is a big hurdle. And if bots lower the installation cost, you may end up with you may end up having the number of labor per roof, but tripling the number of roofs you do. So you actually 50% increase the amount of labor doing roofs, doing solar panels on roofs. So I think that's a really good example of it. It takes Detroit about 5 years to make a new car, sometimes longer. So about 5 more years behind Tesla for sure. Okay, so not to change the subject, what happens to Nvidia's share price if China threatens Taiwan since Nvidia needs TSM? The whole world economy is in trouble if China threatens Taiwan. China's always threatening Taiwan. What happens if TSMC shuts down? What happens if the Taiwanese economy shuts down? But I just that's like an out there event. I mean, we need the supply chain to be re-engineered so that we're not dependent on Taiwan, because in 10, 20 years, there's a really good chance that China's going to take it. The U.S. government's going to fail at some point. They're basically bankrupt. What is Jeremy going to do with the bot? Is Elon's Neuralink researching atomically precise manufacturing technology to create these type of nanobots to brain connection to AGI with our thoughts? They are using atomically precise manufacturing technology in the threads that go into the brain and the needle that inserts the threads into the brain. I don't know if atomically precise, but really close. It's nanotech. And it will help our brains interface with computers, whether AGI or other, and to improve our bandwidth of communication. Our current bandwidth is primarily, using our thumbs on our phones to type, and that's very slow. And if we're able to think into our computer instead of typing into our phone with our thumbs, our output to the computer will be much higher. And we already process at pretty high speed. Well, we may be able to process more information incoming faster as well. China isn't going to invade Taiwan. Very little core TSMC can't be moved elsewhere. I don't think China is going to invade Taiwan anytime soon. I think it's more likely that China sneaks in through the back door, infiltrates Taiwanese politics. Larry Goldberg crying because he didn't get Cybertruck and FSD12. I follow Larry Goldberg all the time, and I haven't seen him crying. If you think he's crying, you're probably missing it. He's probably, he's probably being silly. I don't get the impression that he's a crier. We do need more chip fabs in the USA. I think they're coming. It would be nice to have them. So anyway, thanks everybody so much. Thank you to moderators Mark Plott, Mark Potachnik, Jim Whitehead. Please check out the t-shirts at elonbits.com. Please follow me on X, WR4NYGov. Please support me as a subscriber there, as a YouTube channel member here, as a supporter on Patreon or on the Daily Lie. I've spent a lot of time on the X platform, so if you want to follow me and if you like what I have to say, then I say a lot more of it on the X platform than anywhere else. So thanks.